a couple of days ago. I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't say anything on my show. Me and my guest, evangelist Michael Parker, was talking about it, but I didn't think that it will really come to fruition that a hurricane would start coming immediately. What's your take on all the stuff that's happening there, politically, economically, and what will transpire? What do you think? I know you might not have a crystal ball, but with your intellect, just tell me, what do you think that can transpire with this hurricane that is coming?
Well, yeah, you're very right. We don't have crystal balls, but we have something that's a whole lot better. We have the Bible.
Yes, indeed.
And, the Bible says that in the end of time, in the last days, these warnings have been out there for 2,000 years. And one of the biggest problems that the church faces today is apathy and complacency.
Yes.
And, a lot of people, even a lot of Christians, don't fully attach the importance of what happened on May 14th, 1948, when Israel became a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the countdown clock that got the whole thing going again. And ever since that time, the possibility for the rapture is, now out there on the table, and for Jesus' return to come take us home, and so the days that we find ourselves in are absolutely the last days. And when you ask about the hurricane, it's almost like you want to ask the question, what else can go wrong down there?
Yeah.
Because I have a widget on my website from BP, and it's spilling about 1.5 million gallons of oil every 24 hours into the Gulf.
Yeah.
And they have no clue on how to stop it. They haven't even really slowed it down because they're skimming it off in one area, but it's popping up in 3 other areas.
Yeah.
And now with this hurricane that you mentioned, I read about 3 days ago that Bobby Jindal, the governor of Louisiana, he is now calling for a day of prayer to see if God will intervene. And I really think that God is using this calamity to get people's attention.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. As far as Genesis 12, verse 3 is concerned, I believe that the president, and I apologize for saying this, but I believe that what's going on is a setup. The reason why I say that is because it's funny how these ships are being escorted by Israel. These American ships are being escorted by Israel, and I think what's happening is the globalists who really run things is trying to set up Israel for destruction. And what they're doing is underneath, they're saying, okay, Israel, when nobody's looking and nobody's hearing them, okay, you just go ahead and set up for war. But at the same time, on the purpose of being out there, they're saying, no, this is not going to happen. We're not going to blow Iran out the water. Go ahead.
Well, it's very obvious if you look at what the Obama administration, the policy that they're pursuing with Iran, they are doing nothing but talk. They are doing nothing to stop them, and they are allowing them all the time and space that they need to build nuclear weapons. And that's obvious to even the most casual observer that the Obama administration has a great interest in seeing Iran nuke up.
Yeah.
Because they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing to stop them. And somebody sent me a link yesterday. It was really kind of interesting. And they said that the Gulf oil disaster happened on, I think it was April 20th. And the day before that, April 19th, is when the Obama administration officially said that they will no longer automatically back Israel up on everything.
Yes. And that's when, yes. I heard a guest on Blog Talk Radio say that same thing. A few people actually said that same thing.
And what happens is when you mess with Israel, The Bible says that Israel is still the apple of God's eye, and that means the physical land of Israel, that means national Israel, that means the government of Israel. And you mentioned before Genesis 12:3, and I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. In America, we have a government that is actively in the process of cursing Israel, and we will receive that back on ourselves 100-fold.
Yes, yes, and that's unfortunate because I believe that a lot of, like you said earlier, we're living in complacency and apathy. I don't know those two words are the same, but I need to check my dictionary. But we seem to be concerned about soccer games, and I'm gonna watch the soccer game. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm you know what I'm concerned about. But we're concerned about American Idol and Blandersloop or whatever. I'm always butchering people's names, so his deserves. I guess I can. I give his parents respect and try not to butcher. But Gary Coleman and all this other stuff, you know, Michael Jackson's year of death. But I look on Facebook and I look at a lot of people that I know. And it seems like we're very much carrying on business as usual. The book of actually Noah in Genesis and Lot. We're just carrying on business as usual.
Well,
go ahead.
You're exactly right, and that's why the Bible says that, you know, like in the days of Noah, so it shall be in the end of the earth. Because when Noah was building his boat with his 3 sons and their 3 wives and his wife, the Bible says that they spent 120 years building that boat. And you can imagine that when they first started building, there was probably a great crowd of people coming around and maybe some people even asking some good questions and, you know, a whole mixture of people. But then when it got into year 40, year 50, year 60, and they're still, you know, we're still building this massive boat, and it's going to rain, it's going to rain, it's going to rain. Year 70, year 80, it's going to rain. Year 90, year 100, it's going to rain. By that point, it's like they probably weren't even paying attention.
Or laughing at him, like Jesus was going to do some things. They laughed him to scorn. That's what the Bible says. They probably laughed at him or taunted him.
Exactly. Right. And then at year 120, you know, God said to Noah,